Welcome again. Today we are going to live a totally different experience. We're about to find out what a day in the life of a Mexican Catrina is like. That's right, an authentic and genuine Catrina. Her name is Gabi, a dear friend who is also an agronomist, graduated from Xochimilco, the best university in the multiverse. Our Catrina prepares herself by applying the colors of a Catrina in such a meticulous way and with such care to give the best possible show. Each color, each line, each stone, each stroke has a purpose: to give life to a Catrina. And of course, in order for me to be able to be part of the parade, I get to be one today. Gusto! And Gabi kindly accepted the hard challenge of painting me because honestly, I couldn't have done it on my own. We're running out of time and we need to get to the starting point, La Estela de Luz, right where the parade will start. This parade takes place along Paseo de la Reforma in Mexico City, starting at the Ángel de la Independencia, all the way to Avenida Juárez, walking in front of the Alameda Central and Palacio de Bellas Artes, and then Cinco de Mayo to our final stop, Zócalo. Each person, as you can see, has put a monumental effort into each of their outfits, and no doubt it has taken several hours for each of them so that we can enjoy the parade. Most of us will walk the whole way. We can see all kinds of Catrinas, endless art pieces, which in some cases leave us speechless. Some more contemporary than others, but everything shows the culture of the Catrina. Here you will find all kinds of Catrinas and Catrinas too. That's to say, each one makes use of their ingenuity and imagination to characterize themselves. We all come here with one thing in our mind, and that is to admire and enjoy this impressive parade. I also want to mention that you can take photos with some of these characters. Many of them are willing to pose with you, so that at some point, if you want, they can approach you and take a picture with them, preferably before the parade starts. But even during the parade, many are happy to come up to you if you are in the front rows, which sounds like a great idea to me, because many people who come to enjoy the parade love to take a photo to remember. As you can see, there are also different styles of live music, most of them, among others, that will be cheering and entertaining all along the way. Do not miss any detail because you could be missing anything from a giant Catrina, 12 feet tall, to a dress made entirely with balloons. Inflated, of course. The boy with the unicycle, and even the one with the mask with neon lights. We also see the pre-Hispanic style dancers who, in the same way, are characterized by the theme of the Catrinas. There are some who approach people and hand out candy, especially to children. But yes, fun is for everyone. Death is democratic, since in the end, whether blonde, brunette, rich or poor, all people end up being skulls. Referring to his most famous and transcendent character, Catrina, said the cartoonist José Guadalupe Posada. The origin of the Catrina is said to be the Aztec figure Mictecacihuatl, the goddess of death. Allegedly, according to legend, the Aztec goddess of death kept the bones of the dead, since at some point they could be used. The question is, for what? But anyway, this character comes to life again as an iconic figure that goes hand in hand with the Day of the Dead and dresses in a very fine way. La Catrina is a popular symbol of death, was baptized as such by the muralist Diego Rivera, but Diego was not the first to include it in his works, since José Guadalupe Posada was the forerunner of such representation. La Catrina was initially known as La Calavera Garbancera, by the title that Posada gave to the engraving in which a woman with very fine attire is represented, and drawings for which the most privileged classes of Mexico were mocked back then. The Garbancero was the one who, despite having indigenous blood, pretended to be European and denied his own culture, according to one version. Over time, the figure of La Catrina endured as a symbol of protest, and since then it has been added to the Day of the Dead festivities on altars, while many dress up as Catrinas and Catrines. La Catrina Garbancera was originally created by the Mexican cartoonist José Guadalupe Posada in 1910 and emerged as a mockery of the indigenous chickpea sellers, who, being poor, pretended to be rich and despised their origins and costumes. This, according to another version. Catrina Garbancera went so far that she even managed to influence Diego Rivera himself, who in 1947 gave her an elegant and complete outfit in his work Dream of a Sunday Afternoon in Alameda Central. For this work, she was renamed Catrina. In the painting, themes of the history of Mexico can be seen, such as the conquest, independence, and revolution. The central image of the mural shows Diego Rivera as a child and José Guadalupe Posada being taken by Catrina. Today, the Catrina is part of the popular culture of Mexico, adorned by beautiful and ostentatious hats and flowers. She has become the symbol of the Day of the Dead celebration and a source of inspiration for many, both inside and outside of Mexico. La Catrina is an icon of Mexican culture that, for many years now, has been the protagonist of the elements associated with the Day of the Dead, one of the most important traditions in Mexico, to the point that, as you can see, countless variations have been created based on this special and very peculiar character. During the administration of Benito Juárez, Sebastián Lerdo de Tejada, and Porfirio Díaz, there was a satirical resource based on drawings of skulls and skeletons, accompanied by text that mocked the privileged classes and the situation in the country. This type of publication was mainly directed to newspapers known as Combat. Among the engravers and illustrators who stood out for their work are Santiago Hernández, Constantino Escalante, Manuel Manilla, and of course José Guadalupe Posada. It was the latter who created La Calavera Garbancera, or as it is currently known, La Catrina. Following all this mentioned line of works, José Guadalupe Posada created in 1912 La Calavera Garbancera. The original version of this character came through a metal engraving. Another interesting fact about this first impression is that such figure only had an exotic hat at that time. The rest of the elements of her outfit were something that came much later. Part of La Catrina's job was the satirizing of women who reached another socioeconomic level and therefore denied their origins to follow European fashions. As an example to show this, the hat, exaggerated and luxurious, represents the desire of this school to show off a different reality. Additionally, there are the bows behind the ears, which were characteristic of domestic workers. This is a true Mexican tradition, and of course, our Catrina doing her thing, with all the enthusiasm, just as it should be. In Diego Rivera's 1947 work, Dream of a Sunday Afternoon in the Alameda Central, in the foreground is La Calavera Garbancera, which was later baptized by the muralist as the Catrina. This is part of the Mexican tradition. Look at that. One more contribution of Diego Rivera to the character turned out to be the full body figure and, in addition, the rest of the clothes that would dress the cultural icon. Cunaculta adds that the name this character received, thanks to the Mexican muralist, comes from the word Catrin. This was a way to refer to an elegant and well-dressed man, usually accompanied by a woman of the same characteristics. The above was a common image of the aristocracy of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. So that was a brief background of the character of the Catrina. If you liked this video, you can hit that like button. And even better, if you can subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you soon in the next one.
¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡América! ¡Viva! ¡Sangre por vida de Dios! Soy puro mexicano y nunca derrajado. Si quieren consagrarlo, la historia les dirá que México está bien.